Hello, Daniel.
Hey, how are you? How's everybody?
Good. And hey, Ethan. Good evening,
Hey,
guys.
everyone.
Hey, take care. Good to see you. Okay, we are live on YouTube. Hello, Daniel.
Hey,
Uh, Apologies for getting a bit of a late start. We're almost there.
Before we start, do you want to introduce yourself to us? Hi, my name is Nisha. I live in Master Building, East on Riverside. I left the neighborhood a year ago. A year and a half.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. And I've been aiming to come to the meeting, but finally made it. Glad to have you. Thank you.
She was a great volunteer at the Columbus table. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
So we have a rotating chair and the rotation has turned to me. So I am the chair of the meeting. I'm also the tech guy who's live streaming it. And that means that I'm not on camera. So I apologize, but we will start with the meeting. First is the consent calendar with the minutes for September. So you saw my super minor change about the I just don't want to claim credit for anything happening on West 68th Street. That wasn't me. But otherwise, are folks good with the minutes?
No, I have two corrections of things that I did. And I made a reference to the next newsletter, which is winter 2025, not winter 2026. So I will correct the minutes for that. And I suggest changing a sentence about Rich and a reference to some tree beds. And the sentence says, Rich shared that residents on West 68th Street were using a unique tree bed configuration with raised bed platforms and chips instead of soil. So if Rich approves, I'll put that in. If he wants something else, I'll change it and issue a revised minutes.
You went back to the video, that's what I said?
I didn't go back to the
Okay.
video. I just cut out something about Rich saying they were having
Oh,
good
okay, great.
results.
Yeah,
I just
'cause-
took it out.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, I was just looking at Google Maps. I don't know anything else about it besides what I saw on the screen. Good. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Do we do all three together?
Yes.
So the treasurer's report and the VAIP report. Any comments on any of those? We have a motion to approve. A second. All those in favor? I see Ethan and Deborah online. Any opposed? Okay, so that's done. All right, first on the list is the report from Cabinet Executive Director Daniel on the budget for street love payments to the halfway house.
yes. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Can hear you, only I can see you, so we don't have an external monitor.
You can speak a little closer, it'd be better.
I can see myself on your screen. So two of us can see me.
Yes.
Anyway, hi, everybody. I'm Daniel Bernstein. I'm the Executive Director of the Columbus Amsterdam Business Improvement District. Thank you for having me. I wanted to update everybody on the Street Love budget. Peter can help me with this too, because he knows, all of it as well. But this actually, so we've had a very good problem, I guess you would call it. We've had so many people that are coming every week to work from the halfway house. We literally have probably almost double the amount of people that we budgeted for. And myself and Peter have been kind of reluctant to turn people away because people are making $27 a day basically when they come. And the streets have been very clean. We've been getting a lot of positive comments from people. Since this problem with more people has been going on probably since right before the longest table, which I'm sure all of you remember, all the people that we had working that event. All the people that were working that event that made a lot of that event possible were all the people from the halfway house. One thing I will say, as of right now, the budget, basically the bid is laying out money at this point for the program. We received, I believe, 3,800 and change from Gary back in March, I believe it was. 3,802 actually. And since probably like June, we've had so many people coming. Right now, the bid is laying out roughly a little over $1,000 currently. I did speak briefly to Hetty. I mentioned this to Hetty at the last time I saw her. I mentioned it to Peter Frischoff as well. As I've said, we've been reluctant to turn people away. People get paid roughly $27 a day when they come out and work for us for the event. We've had so many more people. The youth ambassadors obviously are being paid from park to park through that fund, but the 102nd, 103rd Street Block Association paid for all of the halfway house people. One thing we did throw around was possibly talking to 104th Street about actually joining us in the, to kind of make it like a larger joint effort. I mentioned it to Steve Zirinsky in passing, and he was very positive about it. I did tell him that that if something like that were to occur, that obviously the block association would probably, would speak with him next. But I did mention it to him in passing, and he was very positive about it. Obviously, he couldn't make the final decision; the board would have to, but he was very positive about it. We did discuss going, because I know they only cover one block from West End through Riverside. The bid boundaries obviously extend all the way to, they go all the way, 2 blocks further east than where he ends. But he said that he would have no problem. He wouldn't think with extending it to go to Amsterdam Avenue on 104th, as well. So I just wanted to kind of throw that all out there, and to see how you guys wanted to handle this going forward, obviously.
Could I ask 2 questions?
Sure.
It seems like there are 2 benefits to this. One is cleaning our streets, the other is helping out the people. And when we get more people than we budgeted for, do we need the extra help, or are we keeping them because for the second reason that we want to help them out?
I think we need the help. One thing I'll say is that it's, cleanup day. One thing I was mentioning to people in passing is that since we've actually been partnering together, I see you guys everywhere. 102nd, 103rd Street Block Association. I see you guys like a lot more prevalent in the neighborhood, which I think is a positive thing, which I think which is a third positive of kind of the 3 things that you talked about, of the 2 things that you talked about. This is the extra thing on top of that. I think that we're keeping them obviously because we do have the work and they're making it look clean, and we're getting a lot of comments about how clean it looks. And that's why. Yeah. So, I would, do we need that many people? Probably not. We could probably get away with less people. But, if we did extend the program a block, obviously those people would have more work to do, more of a coverage area, which I think they would have no problem covering. But the current boundaries are looking great when they're doing it. And that's why we've been keeping them.
If we were to add 104, would we expect them to be contributing as well?
Yes, I mentioned that to them. I kind of, told them obviously that, they would need to pay into this, and he didn't think that would be a problem. Obviously, he can't approve it himself. He'd have to go to the board with this, obviously, but he said he had no problem bringing it to the board, that he thinks it's a positive thing. Some of the members of that block association actually come and clean with us, as you guys know. And wish that this project, I think, was extended to that area as well. So that's, I think, something that we have going for us as well, in terms of if we went that route.
I have 2 issues that I want to raise on. One is there seems to be a habit forming here of coming back afterwards and telling us, oh, by the way, we spent more than you had allocated, but you know, and then arguing that it's basically not a lot of money and money in the bank and all the rest of it. I mean, is that gonna be the scheme that we adopt here? I mean, is there-
No, actually, Peter wasn't here when this happened. Peter was away. So that's my contact. When I found out, I told him obviously, and then he told, I think that he'd mentioned it to Hetty, and then that's what got us on this particular agenda for the meeting.
I mean, if, it seems like you've been doing this now for about 80 weeks. And
Mhm.
when you
Yep.
do it for people for 78 or 75 of those weeks, and then 8 or 10 people will show up the next week.
So here's what happens.
What's the?
Okay, the reason for this, it's not spending more money and then coming back for more. What happened was that Ray Dooley retired. And he always kept a real cap, for like no more than 4. And, Diana has more of a soft part, I guess, and has said, like, you know, go ahead and go to street level. So that's what happened. And it's true that Daniel and I haven't had the heart to turn anybody away for $27. So we said, you know, maybe we can get 104th Street. And we can do this together, and we can do 104th Street as well. And remember, we also do the Broadway malls, and that makes a big difference to everybody in the community, because we're all crossing the street there. So it's not that we intentionally overspent. This is just what happened, and it is true that we didn't have a heart to turn people away for $27. And Daniel, when he alerted, you know, we said, if it's a problem for anyone, you know, we would just pay it ourselves. So it wasn't, I just wanted to, you know, understand that's how it happened. If we capped it at 4 and Ray managed that very strictly, then we wouldn't have outrun the budget.
Has anybody spoken to them here and told them we only need 4?
Deanna would be receptive to that.
Well, I think the question is, do we really want to do that? Or is a better solution that we have more people who want to do this very good work, and they're all really good workers? If we could get 104th Street to participate, it would be, you know, a better way to solve the problem. So that's what our first line was, that we can work with 104th Street and they can do Riverside to Amsterdam. That helps. Going to Amsterdam, by the way, helps Daniel, because they're the Columbus Amsterdam did. So that touches their boundary, just as our street board love program touches Amsterdam. So it makes it easier for Daniel to have this as a full-fledged topic program, because it touches.
So I would say there are 2 factors here. One's looking back and saying, like, you know, did they overspend? I think the looking forward is much more what we should be focused on. And I think it's a question of, you know, do we try to cut back, or if there are people who are looking for work, are there other opportunities where we could get other sources of funding and find other work? I think having more people than we need doing work isn't optimal, if there might be other work and other funding that might help cover them.
We're not just a charitable organization. I mean, we do give the
said that we are.
grants of money, you know.
Technically we are.
every year and things like that.
Right.
But, you know, if 20 people had shown up, would you have paid 20? I mean,
No, but
what's the rule?
But if we can get money from 104th Street, or if there's other work that's worthwhile,
When?
well, let's ask 104th Street and put that in motion.
Yeah, I think that would be step one. If they step up to match what we were doing, the problem is solved. Any,
Well, we're up for an additional $1,000.
pardon me,
We're up for additional $1,000.
we'll cover the money, or Park will cover the money.
Bid doesn't mind covering it, obviously, either. We've been, we don't have a problem doing it. In other words, I don't know if you guys know, but for the whole project, obviously, we staff the project as well, the bid. I hire people that come out that I pay out of my own pocket to obviously make this event happen because I think it's a good thing. So,
Are there other
Can
jobs?
I,
And they also provide all the equipment too, so.
I know, but we actually
And
adjusted.
we
We
pay
made the
them
adjustment for that
extra.
already.
Yeah,
I think Deborah wanted to talk.
yeah, I just have a comment, which is I love the idea of extending it to 104th Street to grow the program, if you will. And it sounds like, like appropriately scale it. But my more basic question is, I'm just trying to go back to understanding the funding. So because there's the youth ambassadors and then there's the halfway house gentlemen or people. And are we talking about funding just the halfway house or the youth program as well?
no, just that.
that's the halfway house. That's what this program funds through the Block Association.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
To me, I'm hearing that there are people who are looking for work and are eager to work, and we don't have enough work for them. And I'm wondering like what other ideas there might be for other work they might do. So definitely 104th Street seems like a great option. Is there other work and other sources of funds of things that we might,
Do you mean other work, like that would be the block association, Ken?
either that we, the Block Association or the city or council members or?
Well, we do hire them at events,
Right, and we have Halloween coming up.
yes. So, obviously. They're,
But we don't want to run into the same difficulty at each event to
Yeah, you
have
have
more people.
you have to set the number.
Yeah.
We should clarify
And
that.
it could be that the people who are available, let's say you do the Tuesdays, would not necessarily be the ones chosen for other events
That's correct.
in order to spread the wealth a little bit, quite literally,
Right,
but somebody has to manage that. And if it's not gonna be Deanna, it has to be somebody else.
it's, I think she'll, this was just, it did,
Just sort of happened.
it did sort of happen. We didn't put a real cap on it, and where I think there was a lot of enthusiasm for the Block Association, especially after the longest table, because everyone, they were just so energized by the whole event, as for all of us, that, the whole community activity became increasingly attractive. And as you saw in the video, Tree had some, they love doing this work, and they really work hard, and they really do a great job.
What's the dollar amount that we're over budget?
Daniel,
Right now, it's $1,225 to be exact. That's what the project is currently at right now, as of today.
I have two suggestions. Richard,
I'm just doing the math. If it's $27 a shift a person, that's what, 50 shifts over? And if it's for a person, that's 3 months worth of having 4 people over.
is about right,
Budget.
July, August.
Yeah.
that's about right, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Gary, we should stick to a budget, but I agree with Peter that if we've got people who are eager to work, and if there's work to be done, whatever it might be, whether it's 104th Street or other projects, and if there might be either money in any of the budgets we've talked about or some way of getting money, hate to turn people away who are eager to help the community.
And so I have several thoughts on this, if I can have. First, I don't mind emailing Steve, because I did discuss this with him at the Bloomingdale Bites event last week. He said he would watch the video
of the meeting and see what our discussion produced and weigh in, so I'll let you know to look at the section right at the beginning of the meeting. And for going forward, I think having their participation would be helpful. He also had suggested looking into 105th Street. And I don't know whether 105th Street has a lot association. If not, he had said, you know, maybe just going individual buildings, we could get something. But I think somebody else needs to be in charge of the legwork on that. So that's looking ahead, a way that we could have more funds coming in, expand the territory a little bit and support more work for more people. Retroactively, we have budget overage. And I propose that Peter or someone you designate in the shared, the street level project, speak to Deanna about making a course correction going forward. And we deal with the budget overage that we've already incurred by accepting both Daniel's offer from the bid and Peter's from part to part and us, and we go thirds on the overage just to get square for now. And
That's fine, but
but we've got a time stemming measure,
yeah,
an increasing funds measure, and a getting up to date measure.
right.
And then we.
Do I hear a
We'll be
resolution?
limited for, until we hear what the results are, so.
Let me talk to Diana first. If I need to kick in some more money to do it, so as not to increase the obligation or the ask from the block association, if that's the bottom.
And you can discuss with her at the same time disseminating the work so that other people, let's say, when we do have Halloween or other events, that it's not the same people all the time. However, you guys think it should be managed,
Right,
but somebody needs to pay attention.
right. Right. Okay.
Right, so I've got, I mean, it sounds like a start of a resolution, which is, splitting costs a third, seeing if 104th Street's interested, and then talking to,
It's Deanna Billington, DPA and MA. Billington with a double L.
talking to her about managing numbers. One other thought is, might it make sense to do a story, see if the West Side Rag will do a story, just to bring in, you know, potential other ideas of both funding and, people who might need helpers.
That's a really good idea, actually.
And, you know, possible block associations too, if there are other ones that we don't know about.
Right, because they can contribute to the bid to this program and that's perfectly appropriate tax deductible contribution.
Yeah, we could ask Amy to bring it up at the, CB7 Block Association Board. Just to see if other block associations might need helpers.
Good idea.
We could also just in our newsletter say, like, you know, if you ever have odd jobs, there are people available.
Also, today.
I'd like to add something, and maybe Rich is aware of this. There are two people who are interested in having a BID along Broadway. I don't know if this is an appropriate time to bring it up. But Amy would probably be a good person to check on this since she tries to attend the CB7 meetings.
That's an excellent.
That seems like a great idea, just the idea of more block associations tapping into this resource of workers that they may not know about.
And what I'm talking about won't start today. It's long-term.
There was an article in the West Side Rag where they have a survey going. You click on it and respond to the survey.
Good, so, do we need a resolution because we're allocating money?
Well, we should at least,
Or,
show in the minutes that we all agreed to the,
okay, so we're saying, are we saying a third for the block association, the bid and park to park?
Right.
All in favor? Ethan, Deborah?
Yeah, I.
In favor.
All right, so unanimous. Good. Next on the agenda is Daniel again, because we wanted to let you run away, not torture you with the whole meeting. So Daniel and Peter talking about the security survey.
Yes, so I actually emailed everybody about a month and a half ago. And we were ready to move to the next step, but I know you guys have obviously had a lot going on. We are ready to move to the next step, which was the postcard, which I discussed obviously a while back with Hetty. That's kind of where we are. I've sent out like a draft to you guys of text that would go on the postcard, and then I actually asked Hetty to share the file with me or to put the text on the postcard if you guys had that capability, or if you want to share it with us, whatever's easier. And then obviously we would do you guys had said that, you would do the mailing to the people about it, obviously, and then we would then at that point follow up with a lot of door-to-door visits and things like that. That's where we currently are. We're ready to move to the next step, which would be reaching out.
Daniel, I have no recollection of having paid attention to this email, which is not to suggest that you did not send it.
Yeah, I sent it. I sent a follow-up too. I sent it two different emails, once in early September, once in mid-September with a follow-up. And then I talked to Peter, and then I knew you guys had a lot going on because I saw that you guys put out your own survey as well. And then Bloomingdale Bites was happening. There was obviously a lot happening. So I figured that we would discuss it here.
I will look for the email and distribute it to the board.
Okay,
And if I can't find it, I'll get back to you and ask you to resend it.
sure. Peter, did you receive it?
Yes, I did.
You did, okay. Okay, because you were copied on it as well. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay,
Must have been your.
okay, that's fine.
That'll sweet my brain problem. Okay.
I wanted, just very quickly, Daniel, DSNY is supposed to pick up the recycling on Tuesday mornings, but last several weeks, that hasn't happened. And it's a real problem for Street Love because we have to clean around the trash bags that are on the street. And then when they pick it up, there's often additional litter which is created around that. So what I was going to suggest, they always do pick it up. It's just they've been picking it up later and later. They used to pick it up early in the morning and it wasn't a problem.
I assume it's because yesterday was a holiday, so they were
Yeah,
playing catch up today.
but
And there was the monsoon.
But what I was going to, since we run into this several times, and every time we do, it's frustrating because, you can't really clean well around the bags and that's always invariably created by the removal. So I was going to suggest that we move Street Love to Wednesday, and we also move the time up a little because it's getting dark earlier. So if now they have programming here that all the residents have to attend between 3 and 4. So but after the 4 o'clock, they could do it at the halfway house. And Daniel, I took the liberty of asking Steve and Elon, who are the two staff people who come to Street Love, and Wednesday worked for them, and that they didn't think that would be a problem. So
Yeah, for both of them, it's fine. For some of our other staff, it wouldn't be, but for both of them, I think it would be okay.
okay. Do you think this would work, Daniel, if we moved it to Wednesday and
I wouldn't see why not. Like, I know that you sent a message out recently about going back like starting next week, moving it, you know,
It gets
earlier
dark.
because of the, you know, of the change of the clocks and everything.
This would,
Um,
make this effective next week. It would help Eliza Lansdale with the daffodil planting.
Okay.
He also wants to do that on Wednesday, so that way we could,
oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
people could participate in that and make sure that that's successful.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's fine. Why don't we give it a shot and, you know, see what happens? You discussed it already with the halfway house?
The concern there is that 4 o'clock it's gonna be dark by 4:30 in a month.
So,
Right.
yeah, I need to discuss with Diana if they have any flexibility. in
Yeah,
their program. But all the residents here are on a pretty, they're very strict about their
It's like meetings that they have to go to and everything. Yeah.
mandatory time, so.
Mhm. Mhm.
I will talk to her and see if any of this can be. But yes, we want to make it earlier, like we did last year, because it gets dark so much earlier.
Mhm.
So I'll give that a shot. That's about all, other than that, we met. The halfway house resident who was in the video that I sent him there. Justin, thank you. So, they, it's really very inspiring. They love to do this community oriented work, and it just reinforces all the good learnings that they get here. This really is a wonderful, wonderful place.
Daniel, do you know Gus? Are you the right person to reach out to Gus to see if he might wanna write about it?
I know Gus. I don't have a great relationship with the West Side Rig. They're not very good with us, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't be the right one to reach out to them, no.
Peter,
Yes, I do know Gus.
do you wanna reach out to him?
Sure.
Right,
I-
so to move things along, because we're,
Just one thing before we lose Daniel. Daniel, I looked at the billing and payments. I thought we were actually gonna be, letting you send us bills every 6 months. But it looks like we have, the last one we paid was in January, so.
Correct.
Send us at least one for half the year, and I think the renewal we have to start paying attention to when we renew. Is it in November that we renewed last time?
Yeah, well, we actually renewed in January. If you remember, we went through the end of the year last year. And then that's why you paid in January, or whatever, you gave me a payment in January. And then that's why I came back now.
Well, send me one for the half a year, and then
For Street Love, you're talking about? Yes. Or just should I wait until you guys speak?
well, it doesn't matter, but I assume we can use the cash flow, so.
No, I can wait. I like, if you need me to, it's fine. It's up to you.
You send the bill when it makes sense for you.
Sure. Do you want me to, so I'll send a bill for the like renewal 3802 and then, or how do you want me to, because that's usually how we've been handling it, or do you want me to wait until you guys discuss this more internally?
And then at the end of the year, don't worry about documenting the payments. At the end of the year, you send the payments as you did last year to other people, so we can take a look at it.
Okay, can you repeat the beginning of that? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I said, why don't you send me an invoice for the half year, the 3802? And then,
Okay.
at the end of the year, send me another one for 3802. And we usually ask you to send us the list of all the payments to others.
Yes,
On it at that time. Do that. Don't worry about doing it at half a year. Do it at the end of the year.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay,
good. Thank you very much, Daniel.
thank you, everybody, for, having me, and thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it.
If you want to, you're welcome to stay, because we're gonna talk Bloomingdale Bites. And we had said that Hetty and Amy would give a recap. Amy's not here, so you're on.
Yeah, I could stick around for another 10 minutes or so, sure.
Right.
Was last Thursday. It was a fun evening. The presentation by the Upper West Side Cinema Center was interesting and very well received. Trivia was fun and very well received. It was nice to see that young people won and have film knowledge and background knowledge of the Upper West Side. That it wasn't just recognizable faces, knowing everything. Food was delicious. I think we mainly had repeat restaurants, rather than showcasing new people, but if that's what makes the formula work, the formula works, I think it would be nice.
Daniel was shaking his head as though there were some new restaurants.
Yeah, there were 3 new restaurants actually.
Which ones?
Just Verdello, which is a new owner and new food actually. If you remember, it was the previous Automare. So it's actually new. Verdello was new. There was also Zomo, who had actually backed out at the last minute. They were new too. And then there was another one too that was brand new. I'd have to look at the list in front of me, but I know that we had like at least, I believe, out of the 6 restaurants we had, 2 or 3 of them were new. Yeah.
When you get a chance, email a list of the restaurants so we can acknowledge them in our newsletter coverage next
Sure.
issue.
Sure.
Um,
Okay.
Anyway, lots of fun, well attended,
Yeah.
not jam packed, which I actually liked better, although dollars and cents wise, it's not optimal. But, you know.
So we went from 10 to 15, so we bring in about the same amount of money.
I don't know.
Seems like it's roughly the same amount, $300.
Yeah, it seems to be roughly about the same from what I was looking at the emails with Steve and Amy. Yeah.
And we are getting checked at post office box for our third of the proceeds
Mhm.
expenses working.
What are the expenses?
Please.
Dan, you can speak to that better than I can. I only know the expenses of buying the beverages.
Well, staff, obviously with the bid, we have a lot of staff that are at the event as well. All of the supplies that are needed to actually hold the food and keep it heated. All that stuff. Just basically all the supplies. Forks, utensils, plates, all things to that effect that are needed to put, for people to sit down and eat with, obviously. Tablecloths, even the space used to cost, now it doesn't cost anything. Obviously, the bid gets it for free since the hostel is on the board of the bid. But there is also an insurance cost. The bid covers that as well because we have insurance already. So we just kind of, submit that to the hostel. But there are definitely some expenses associated with putting the event together.
I think the expenses that come off of the revenue,
Hmm.
the money that was received on Thursday.
Correct.
Posited to 104th Street, and then, as far as I know, the only expense that was taken off that amount was the
Would
money
you-
that I laid out for beverages. And then
Correct.
what's left is divided 3 ways among the bid 104 and our.
There, we did run out of beverages. So.
What?
No, we didn't. We actually had so many
Oh,
left over at the end of the
The
event.
ice bucket was empty, because I went to get a seltzer and it just had a few sodas left. I wonder if
Seltzers forgot, but they were. definitely-
Seltzer, we may have run out of, but there was a ton of soda left.
oh, okay,
A ton of soda. Yeah, tons of it.
More seltzer.
Yeah. Good, thank you.
Sure.
Reminders to contributors, Ethan.
Yeah, no update there. I am sorry, but I just have not had the time to sit down and do this yet. I'll do my best to get it in place in the next week or two.
All right, just a reminder, the chair of the next meeting's kind of mean, so you don't want him on your case.
Yeah. That's a very good point, yes.
Newsletter update. Amy's not here.
Oh,
Anything-
bye, everybody. I'm gonna say goodbye now. Sorry to
Thank
cut you
very
off.
much, Dan.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get going. Thank you
Bye,
for
Jennifer.
having me. It was
Thank
very
you.
nice to see everybody. And very nice to hear you, Deborah. It's been a while.
Yes, thanks for everything.
You got it. No problem. Take care, everybody. Bye.
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 Okay, newsletter. Amy is working on the list of articles that will be included in the next issue. We will have a recap of Bloomingdale Bites. We will have an announcement about caroling. Getting what's on the list, and I didn't bring it with me.
Halloween recap.
There'll be a Halloween recap. There'll be the results of the survey. Sometimes we mention if there's space, the publication of the alternate side parking calendar. We no longer publish the calendar itself. Instead, for the email from me. Instead, we just publish a link to the availability of it. We started a new column last time called What Are We Up To? That we report on some of the things we do that are not big events like the longest table or Halloween, but that we're nonetheless working on, like he's been working on the contribution reminder project or working on our tax status project, that kind of thing. Amy proposes to do a call for volunteers and additional board members. There's in December.
We should do the dog signs.
I think we might have done that last time.
The dog signs look great, by the way.
Right, that's an agenda item, so we'll talk about it in a minute.
Deborah, that was inappropriate.
Sorry, I got very excited.
Last time in What Have We Been Up To, we had discussion of the dog waste problem and working on tree bed signs. We had the removal of the motorcycles and the tax status, and that we're now on Instagram. So we'll have that column again. Report on some of our newer initiatives. We'll have a report about the tree well planting. We'll have a report on parking day. We may have a review of the new Mediterranean place if it opens. And there is a new Mexican place opening where Wolf Nights was. Or we can review the revival of Silver Moon in the Buttercup Bakery space. So we've got some food stuff to deal with there. And usually in the December, aka winter issue, we publish the plea for donations that our former board member, Neil Coulon, runs with the Department of Justice.
Suggestions, because I think they would do that if there was like in every issue, if there's an Upper West Side cinema column or.
Yes, we discussed that as well.
Yeah, so that would be in every issue because they have so much.
Got stuff going on, yeah.
They just sent a photo saying that they're gonna rename.
Yes, and the announcement is forthcoming. Yes, she mentioned that at
Soon to have a major donor.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That
Very.
All right.
So that's some of the content that will be in the winter issue. The deadlines are going to be mid-November, so the time to get our ducks in a row and get it out for the beginning of December. Keeping in mind that there is a holiday Back in the middle of that. Oh, yeah.
Shared street update, Peter.
Well, DOT has told us that they will not be repaving up this 103rd Street. Unfortunately, this year, they,
Does that make us first in line in the spring?
they're not saying that, but
Yeah.
we're hoping that we'll can get a little bit more love and attention from them. That, you know, that they're, other than that, you know, things are going pretty well.
Good. Cabinet update, Celia?
The cabinet meeting was canceled. There was no meeting this morning.
Nothing else to say. We have street love program on the agenda, but we talked to it. Is there anything more to say?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think on CB7, we should mention that Max Vanderbeek, there's a new district manager.
Yeah, so, well, have they hired a new?
No,
So Max has left CB7. The word I got was that he got a job in Vermont as a town manager and abruptly left. So he's missed. They also elected a new chair, a guy named Alex Bell, who do you know him well?
I know him, I don't know him. Well, he is one of the prime movers for the Broadway bid. And he has participated in FEMA along with Max actually, so he's a good community oriented person.
Speaking of the Broadway bid, that's another topic that we propose to mention in the newsletter with a link to that survey that was published in the.
Survey. That's next on the list. It closes tomorrow. So not really much to talk about today, apart from that it's proceeding. I don't think we should talk about numbers or results or anything.
Great, we need to talk about, just gonna crunch those numbers and results.
I will do it.
One,
Yeah,
so I can give you these paper copies.
yes. How many are those?
It's the 5 that Gary brought, and then there were 2 that got dropped at my doormat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. I think the methodology is going to be to enter those into Google Forms as though they're entries, and that way everything's together in Google Forms.
Okay.
I tested out just for the fun of it. And we have a lot of comments, which are a nightmare to sift through and make sense of. I tested out with one of them, throwing it in ChatGPT and said, you know, provide whether these are in favor or opposed. And well, actually, let me read exactly what it said. So I written the following are comments in a survey, summarize how many are positive and negative and what the main points are. And just copied and pasted all of the comments from one of the, and it did it in 10 seconds. It came back and said the number positive, the number negative, and then summarized main points. So I think that's probably better than we would get unless, or even if we like sat together, all of us in a room and tallied them up. But ultimately it's the quantifiable responses that are going to be more notable.
I mean, we can simply,
I don't think we should discuss numbers until it's finished.
or 100 or 200.
Let's-
One year.
We'll know tomorrow.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, that affects how many people you have.
I don't think, let's talk off the record. I don't think it should be on the record. Dog waste signs.
Hi, we received them. They look good. Peter picked them up, or somebody picked them up at Peter's request from my doorman and installed them during one of the Tuesday Street Love. Thank you for seeing to that. I wasn't just here. And I've heard several comments from people in addition to Debbie saying, oh, they look great.
Debbie, you have the floor.
Oh, how exciting. No, I just kudos to Hetty for like pushing forward with that. I just think it's a nice touch. It's done, well done and noticeable. So I think it'll be effective. I'm hopeful.
Yep, no, they look great. That's the agenda for old business. New business, Halloween.
Do we have Mary or no?
We do not have Mary.
She's got flyers going around. Other than that, I don't know.
Do we know, here's the budget, and if she wants to hire people from the halfway house or whatever, we should have some, get that relationship going.
Well, let me say, think about the budget. 2 years ago, we spent 500 on it. Last year, we agreed that each would be paid for the pretty costly, it was increase the budget to 1,800. And we added, for some reason, number $100 budget this year. So unless I hear otherwise, it seems like recently there's okay about that. But if they hire their come out, I think there will. As I recall, last time I wrote 10 or 15 checks here, 20 plus speaking. The good pieces.
Okay. And is that how you want to do it again this year, or should?
Last year she gave me a list of the.
Okay. Okay. If those people are in the Hobbit system, then they may be easier, Daniel may be going to pay them that way if they're already in the Hobbit system.
I would guess this is a one-time payment to people, so it's not something that is. No. And nobody is. Not enough to do.
I'm sure she's accustomed to doing it a certain way.
Sure.
Celia, I just want to circle back to the dog waste signs and reflect in the minutes that the total cost for them was it Gary 329? Right, total cost for the project came in at 329 and 20 cents. So I'm guessing that Mary's got a handle on Halloween and is doing what she does. I know she's got a box out for candy donations. Amy's been sending out some emails. Back all rolling. And if he needs us to chill it, ask us.
Great.
Last year I went to Costco or BJ's and bought cider and donuts. I should be able to do that again if that's needed. Although there's the issue of refrigeration. So we'll have to figure that out.
I think that's why they had it. It felt outside everybody.
Yeah. All right.
Cider budget.
Yes. Post office is on new business. Is that just the issue of getting our mail?
I'm gonna tell a story about this. I sent pretty timely way a check to the for their services that they did in the helping organize the
So long as they
long of it. And months later, I got a call from who was calling me, but it was saying, are you gonna send us a check for this? I said, I sent you a check, one thing. I didn't see. And he said, and so I said, you can look around, going to their office. You can imagine. There's stuff there that not everybody knows about because it's not organized on it. And he looked and he like, if you're looking at stuff in the bingo, since it's gone somewhere, so I did that and bought his check, walked his check over there. In the mail that I picked up this morning, there was a return check from that I had sent out with the thing saying that I'm unable to deliver this at the address. It's the address that he uses all the time, but rarely tried to do it to somebody there. It's been sitting for a month in the post office.
So do we have the ability to send payments by ACH for free? Automatic clearinghouse or something,
Online banking.
or Zelle or Venmo or PayPal,
Well,
whether it's,
we've never done it with, we can do it with PayPal. We've done it with PayPal. But you don't have,
what bank do we use?
we use Chase.
There should be a
Yeah.
banking option that lets you do it, and then they send it.
As far as I know, we did it for the place that I work. We went to the bank and requested, and they gave us the ACH number that you give to people to receive money, and then they give you the option and it pops up on the account so that you can be able to send more.
Yeah, with my business, I get money that I pay out to a lot of companies. And so I have to make payments all the time. And I do it all by ACH and just never deal with mail. And so it's all automatic. They get it within 1 to 3 business days. And it goes straight into their account. And
That's with Chase.
that's with Capital One, but
They do it.
Chase does it as well. And the same with
It's different than regular online banking. When you process a check through ordinary online banking, they cut a check, they put it in the mail, just like if you were to write a check, but ACH is different. It's more of an electronic funds transfer that doesn't have to be actually mailed.
I would say the same thing for if we're making $25 or $50 payments to people in the halfway house. If they have Venmo or PayPal, it might be more efficient and they get the money more quickly than if we're giving them a check.
Well, that's the way they're,
It is doing that.
It does all of that. It's,
Okay.
and they do that as much as possible
Yeah.
by Zelle. The problem is that there's a significant number that are unbanked.
But if they get a check, are they paying a lot of money to cash a check?
That I don't know, but that's the only, and I'm afraid it's a lot of extra work for it too.
Yeah,
But there are, for the people who are unbanked, they do paper check. But most of them do have a bank account or getting in, they can take Zelle. I don't know if he paid now.
yeah.
can
I would worry with a paper check that
They can definitely.
if they have to go to a check cashing place, it might
Well, they
take
can
away
check.
some of the money.
They can cash it and check. Chase check.
So if it's a Chase check, they won't charge you
That's
for,
right.
okay,
And the bid has their account.
Yeah, great, okay.
So they have a good relationship.
that was post office. Next up is tree bed care and alternatives. I guess was that legacy from the 68th Street discussion? I forwarded the email from my neighbors who are hobby horticulturists, and they were very concerned about the marble chip idea. They said it would attract dogs and would cause problems. So I respect their opinion enough to think that we might think twice about going that route. Does anyone have other thoughts? Do we, anything more to discuss on this topic?
I think that the problem's not addressing the problem. How do you, keep the dogs off those things? And problem is that an awful lot of those tree wells, the roots are popping out of the ground. So you really can't do other planting on them, so it's a bigger problem than just how do you auction.
Yeah.
You need to look at this, they need to have a significant amount of food first if they're gonna see. So, what do we need to hold that?
It sounds like this is a project that needs, if it's something we're gonna look into, we need someone to be responsible for looking into it. I don't know if anyone cares to own this project.
Perhaps an email to Eliza, who does our plant efforts.
Right, then. No, she felt that in the tree planting that we do, we're too cheap on the soil because we talked about this.
Also, Michael Gonzalez at the bid is a horticulture. And he has a certification. He's also a certified citizen improvement.
Good. Christmas caroling.
All I know is that it's gonna be on Sunday, December 21st. And it will likely take the same format that it usually does. We'll be reminding people of the date in the December newsletter. Anthony indicated last year that we would do it again this year.
I think Rich should live stream it. Right?
So is Nancy White going to do the cider?
I hope so. If she doesn't, do you want to?
Oh, no.
Tax status. Any updates?
Didn't occur to me to write to David because that usually gets connected in my brain when I do the agenda, and since I didn't do the agenda, I didn't think to write to him. Last I remember, he was going to summarize for us what he had found out about whether our expenses would fall under the requirements for a 501(c)(3). I don't mind sending him an email to say, sorry, we didn't think to remind you about the October meeting. Do you think you could have it to us before November?
Right. D&O insurance.
Same, haven't heard from the guy.
Okay.
If we don't hear from him, I'm thinking it would be good to try to identify somebody else.
I want to say it's really been the honor of a lifetime to be chair. And Ethan's chair for November, and Ethan, I wish you the best of luck.
I'd like to add something to that, because we are moving into a new phase where I am not the chair, I am a co-chair. If anybody has a topic that they want to discuss with the chair, please include whoever the next chair is, so that that person is in a conversation. So for next time, it's Ethan. And after that, we had said Debbie review December. So then we'll have to look at.
Who wants January?
I nominate Amy because she's gonna do so, no.
I think we shouldn't do that. Yeah, because we were gonna make you just chair, not chair for a month, but chair, so. Did anyone claim January? Gary, Peter? Great. I just put in the chat for Ethan the October agenda so that you might start working on the November agenda. That's all I got. Do we have any motions to adjourn?
About that from your phone.
That was Deborah, I think, starting this hard.
Sorry, I'm just walking past a gaggle of girls.
Celia, do you need the spelling of, so you can say your name again?
And Nimsha, N-I-O-U-S-H-A. Mala. M-A-S-O-U-M-I.
MASOU.
M-I.
Thank you very much, Nisha.
Anything else, or do we have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, I'd like to know, is Ginger listening? No? Okay.
No, just Deborah and Ethan.
We did not cover this issue that Ethan raised.
Oh, that's right. Instagram, the Canva.
I don't.
We can talk about it next month.
Okay.
I can contact the guy who's doing the agenda. Add it in.
Ethan, do you have
You know a guy.
A call on a favor. So sorry, Hetty.
email address for Ariana?
Probably I can find it.
I'll write an email to you and Ariana. What you said about other uses for Canva made me think she should be looped into the discussion.
Okay. Yeah.
Not a board member, she's not on the usual board member list.
Okay.
I'll send an email to you too, and that might have some bearing on that discussion.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Either you or all.
Anything else? Going once, going twice, any motions to adjourn?
I'll move that we adjourn.
Any seconds?